Start now. I don't know why it goes gray again. Doesn't matter. But can I borrow your phone to see the pictures that I just sent you? Perfect. Alana Schwartz, Clark, Harper Clark, Addison Bullion, Haley Peters, Park's first name. Parker Fritz. That's gonna fuck me right up. Fucking Benz Miller. What number is Benz Miller?
Who?
Benz Miller.
60.
What number is Schwartz?
14.
What number is Bullion? 8?
Which one?
Addison.
Leave 8, yeah. Yeah, the jerseys even look decent with the socks too.
Right? I did good. Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to work, but try and zoom in on the girls when they get up there and down there as well. Nice. Double fisted even. Do we know how the mic works?
Yeah.
Are you going to talk before All Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, cutie.
How you doing?
Fucking. She catches me doing bad again, that Haley or whatever her name is.
Brunel's?
You guys okay here?
Of course.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, just waiting for them to finish their thing.
You guys just gotta keep it outside. Yeah. This is over here. Right.
Okay, shh. Everybody's gonna be super hush hush. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Lashburn Junior Rustlers Showcase. Can you hear it? Can somebody go look? It's off. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me up there in Radio Land? Excellent. Okay, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Junior Rustlers Lashburn Showcase, last showcase of the season. Tonight, the Junior Rustlers will be facing off against the Manitoba Mavericks. Joining the Junior Rustlers on the ice this evening, number 8, 8 years old, London Smithson. Joining us from the Lloydminster's 382 Blazers, also from the 382 Blazers, also 8 years old, Quinn Crickard. And from the U7 204 Lloydminster Blazers, 5-year-old Cambry Risley. Your starting lineup for the Junior Rustlers. In goal, number 33, Parker Fritz. On defense, number 16, Hayes Bensmiller. Also on defense, number 15, Haley Peters. On forward, number 14, Alana Schwartz. On forward, number 8, Addison Boulian. On forward, number 21, Layla Smithson. And your captain, number 77, Harper Clark. At this time, we ask you rise and remove your hat for the singing of O Canada. Turn it up. There we go. Okay, good job. How's it going, guys? Oh, shit. I forgot to take my fucking hat off. Whoop. Let's go. That went all right. Pretty happy with that. Who? The what? He couldn't. He had a ticket for Big Juba something. Welcome back, Rustler fans! Game 1 of a 2-game stand for the Lloydminster Junior Rustlers against the Manitoba Mavericks. Puck gets dropped off. Manitoba is going to win the opening face-off back in their own territory. Boulian adding some pressure early. Puck poked ahead for Schwartz. Schwartz slaps it back to the near far side corner. Boulian again trying to chase it down. Now Clark. Clark's going to get there first in the near side corner. Walking into the slot. Drop pass for Bensmiller. Bensmiller had to recover. Sends one in. That one's tipped back to the corner. Clark now battling in the far side. Schwartz in to help out. Schwartz and Clark, 2 Manitoba Mavericks. Trying to pull it out. Now gets tipped in behind the net for Clark. Clark takes a bump. She'll stay on her skates. Lets it go for Boulian. Boulian sends it out front for Schwartz. He gets a shot off. It's tipped wide. Puck's going to roll back to the near side corner for a point for Bensmiller. Bensmiller going to chip it back in with Clark. Bensmiller goes after it. She'll get knocked off the puck as the Rustlers are changing. Knocked up off the glass. Now Peters up at center. She'll try and send one in. She gets picked off, and here comes Manitoba in over the blue line with a shot. And Parker Fritz will snatch it up and hang on. Face off now on the glove side of Fritz for Bayer.
Red blue on the stand.
Rustlers will win that one back to McNabb. McNabb up to Rollick. Rollick pokes it ahead off the far side boards. In to help out again is Bayer. Rollick tangled up in the far side corner, back to Bayer. Byer trying to send it back up. That's picked off. Manitoba with it again. Stolen back by McNabb. McNabb sends one up along the near side. Boards with a nice hit. Well, and a check from behind. Return favor by Manitoba as Baby gets hauled down, but she'll draw two. And the Rustlers are going to get the first power play of the game. Face-off going to come deep now in Manitoba territory as we're waiting on the checking from behind call for Manitoba. 18:29 to go, arguing Smithson, Boulian, Weber, and McNabb out to try and get this first marker. One back to Smithson, hands it off to McNabb. McNabb looking for a lane. She's going to chip it back in. It'll roll behind the net. Arguing to get a piece of it. Smithson will collect. Now Boulian in behind the net, looking for McNabb at the point. McNabb with some time. McNabb looking to give it back to Boulian, buying herself some room. Back to Boulian off the stick, rolls behind the net. Arguing will chase. Arguing with it. She'll turn and burn in behind the Manitoba net, trying to get set up. Hands it back to McNabb again at the far side point. McNabb over to Weber at the near side. Weber will chip it off the stick and get it in deep in the corner. That'll get poked back up to the point, but not out as McNabb will chase it down and chip it back into Smithson. Smithson sends it up off the far side boards, near side boards to the far side corner. Back to McNabb. McNabb back to Smithson. Arguing with a quick move there, but stolen from her as it gets chipped down the ice on an errant pass. Parker Fritz will come out and tip that one back up to McNabb. McNabb will go behind her own net to get set up. McNabb, bait and switch, hands it off to Clark. Clark at her own blue line, centering pass. That goes off the stick of Weber, and Manitoba has an opportunity as they walk in. McNabb changing her plans, comes back to help cover. Poked up off the stick, and here comes Schwartz. Schwartz with some speed up over center. She's going to get a break. Schwartz has it knocked off her stick, sends it out in front, tipped wide. Back in behind the net now is Manitoba as they'll flick one up. That goes off the shoulder of Clark right to Waddell. Waddell sends one through. That goes off the stick of Clark, picked up by a Manitoba forward, and she'll send it down the length. With 20 seconds now to go in the power play, Waddell's going to reset behind her own net. Waddell chipping that one up to Weber. Weber cross ice, she'll hit Byer. Byer in stride up over the blue line. She's got some speed and some room, puts the brakes on, hands it back to Waddell. Waddell looking for somewhere to go with it, centering pass. That goes off a stick back out. And just as the penalty expires, and a pass by Brander goes just over Waddell's stick, and Waddell will reset back to the near side for Baby. Baby chipping it back to Brander. Brander sending it along the far side back to Waddell. Waddell sending that one up as she takes a hit. On the far side was Rawlik, and now Baby gives chase. Back up to the neutral zone is Winnipeg, and a nice hit by Byer. Byer knocks him off the puck, but only for a second. Here comes the Manitoba captain in over the blue line with a shot right on as Fritz will snatch it up and hang on for a face-off with 15:55 to go here in the first period. 0-0 game. I like to wander. Face-off won by the Rustlers, back to Bensmiller. Bensmiller will send that one up. That one goes off a skate of Smithson, stops short, back in behind the Rustler net. Hurley now with it. Hurley, she's got a streaking Boulian that goes just in behind her and picked back up by Manitoba. They'll have to check in offside. Bensmiller with it behind the net. She'll send it back to the far side for Hurley. Hurley with a nice little move there to miss a hit. Chips it up off the boards, try to get it to herself. Smithson in to help out. Here comes Arguing on the far side, chips it back to Hurley. Hurley puts the brakes on behind her own net, sends it back to Smithson on the far side. Smithson, she's got Boulian streaking. Here comes Boulian in all alone. Boulian with a shot blocker save. Picked up now on the near side. Chipped back in behind the Rustler net, icing waved off. Far side pass there by Weber. That's picked off a stick. Weber comes in, knocks it off again. Bouncing puck bounces back to the neutral zone for Manitoba. Schwartz on the attack. Here comes Peters, pokes that one ahead. Gets it off to Boulian. Manitoba back in their own territory. Walking one in over the neutral zone is the Manitoba captain. Peters gets a piece of that. She's going to go for a skate, knocks it up ahead. Comes back to the near side blue line. Peters will give it another poke. It'll come outside of the zone. Knocked back in. Peters will send it back out again, or try to, as it gets knocked in again. Now Peters will chase it down in the far side corner. Peters with a quick turn sends that one up. Hits Clark. Clark will send that one up. She gets it right to Baby. Baby hands it off to Rollick. Rollick and Baby had a 2-on-1. Rollick with a shot that goes right off the goalie's helmet. Right back to Rollick on the tape. Rollick centering pass. Nice try there by Byer with a shot. Rebound. Sits in the blue paint. Kicked out. McNabb takes a shot. That one goes off a defender. Back to Brander. Brander chips one in. Rollick will give chase now in behind. Rolls over the far side for McNabb. She'll send it back behind the Manitoba net. Rollick with it in the near side corner looking for a centering pass. That gets picked off as Manitoba is going to break out of their own zone. They'll chip it out to the blue line and McNabb will pick it up. McNabb tries a centering pass. Didn't quite hit. Dumped back in by Manitoba. Chipped round to the near side for McNabb. McNabb up off the near side boards to Boulian. Boulian will get it out of the zone, but it gets picked off by the Manitoba captain. Backhanded out again as it gets chipped in and sent right back out. Manitoba now with it in the neutral zone. Back at their own blue line now, up over center, and they'll dump it in. It rolls behind the Rustler net. Waddell picks up the near side corner, gives it a poke, throws a nice hit. Poked up ahead again as the ref takes a, or the linesman takes a tumble. Nice move by McNabb at center, chips it up to Boulian. Here comes Addison. Boulian with a nice move. Far side circle, puts the brakes on, knocked off the stick. Stopped to the far side again there by Waddell. Handed off to Clark with a shot blocked by a defender. Clark with it again. Looking for somewhere to go with it. Clark in the slot. Tried to drop past, didn't get a hang of it. Hands it back to Hurley. Hurley walks one in, tries to get it back to Clark, knocked off a stick. Chipped up again, stopped at the blue line by Hurley. Clark dumps that one back in behind the Manitoba net. They'll send it around to the far side on a pinching Waddell. Waddell centering pass, that goes off a defender. Hurley dumped over to the far side. Hurley in the neutral zone, waiting for some Rustlers to change, gets it back to Boulian. Boulian sends one in, that goes off a defender again. Stopped at the blue line again by Waddell, handed off to Rollick. Rollick with a nice move in the slot, trying to walk one in, backhand pass, that one goes through everybody. Manitoba now back behind their own net, send it along the far side as Waddell collects, tries to chip it in, that goes off a defender twice. Still in the same zone, kept in. Nice work there by Byer. Over to Baby. Baby hands one off to Rollick. Rollick sends one in off a defender back to the far side corner. Chipped back in behind the net as Rollick gives chase. Rollick with a nice hit behind the net. Dumped back to Peters at the far side point. There's a shot off a defender. Comes back to Peters again. Peters with a quick move gets it back to Byer. Rollick gets tripped up in front. She's going to recover, and the Rustlers are going to go back on the power play now with 11:19 to go in the first. That's all I do. So what he's filming right there, people are listening to me and watching what he's doing.
Is it really 2-2? When the hell did they score?
No, it's 0-0.
Oh, okay.
They probably don't know how to take it all. Those are shots.
Oh!
Face-off's going to be won by the Rustlers, back to Bensmiller. Bensmiller back to Peters. Peters back to Bensmiller with a one-timer. That goes off a stick, tipped in front. That'll get to the goalie, but soaked up and held by the Manitoba tender. Yeah, it's deceiving out here, the shot clock being above the score.
Yeah!
Face-off now for Arguin on the glove side. Arguin with a good tie up there, goes to Boulian. Boulian's going to chip it back. That'll get out of the reach of Peters. Peters will recollect at her own blue line. Chips one back over to the near side for Arguin. Arguin up to Smithson with a nice poke. Just about broke free there was Boulian. Poked up along the near side boards for Smithson. Smithson hands it back to Bensmiller, and Bensmiller chips it back to Peters. Peters with some time now. She's going to look like she could go for a skate, and she's going to go through the neutral zone up over center. Peters in over the blue line now with a quick move at the far side corner, puts the brakes on to tie up with the ref. Now in behind the net is Clark. Clark with it on the near side, centering pass, trying to hit Schwartz. That one's just out of her reach, chipped back to the far side corner.
Number 55, Caleb B.
Schwartz out in front. One-timer, another one off the post. Rebound for Schwartz, chipped in front, save made again. Poke back to the near side blue line for Bensmiller. Bensmiller with some time, walks one in, hands it off to Clark. Clark with a shot off the shoulder of the Mavericks goaltender into the near side corner. Dumped down the ice now by Manitoba as they're going to get a change, and Peters will chase it down with 40 seconds to go in the power play. Peters will reset behind her own net. Peters sending it up to the far side for Byer. That gets knocked off her stick at the last second as Peters goes on the attack. Byer in to help out. Peters trying to send one up the far side boards. Gets it to Byer. Byer tried to poke that one up ahead. Stopped short. Still battling for it is Byer. Byer chips it back to Peters. 15 seconds to go in the power play. Peters back to Bensmiller. Bensmiller in behind her own net. She'll lose the handle on it. Peters in to help out. Puts the brakes on. Goes back behind her own net again. Peters gets her pocket pick. She'll tie up now. Bensmiller with it in the near side corner. Peters and Bensmiller both tired. Poked up ahead. Gets to Rawlik. Rawlik tried a quick chip pass. Poked up ahead. That'll get on the stick. Comes back to Rawlik as Byer had a one-timer lined up. Sent it out front to Baby. Couldn't quite reach it. Baby with a nice hit of the far side boards. Poked back. That'll come out of the zone. Maybe. Yes, it does. Stopped at the center ice area as Baby takes a hit. Gets it over to Arguin. Arguin sends it to Rawlik. That'll go off the stick and down the ice as the Rustlers will get an icing call with 8:49 to go. Back to the Rustler goal line for a face-off. I'm almost done my cheeseburger, everybody at home. We're getting there.
Telling Brandy to get the fuck off the beach and watch the game.
Arguin lining up for the draw. That'll get one by Weber.
It's a good thing you're announcing, not doing the class.
Somebody got dumped. I didn't see that one. Looks like we're going to get another penalty. An interference call now as the Rustlers are going to get another opportunity on the power play. Manitoba captain is going to get 2 for interference, and the Rustlers back to the power play. Okay. How we doing? All right. Face off now on the blocker side. Manitoba territory. Chip back to Hurley. Hurley back to Brander, back to Hurley. Hurley chips that one over ahead, goes to Smithson. Smithson, nice move in the near side circle, goes in behind the Manitoba net. Sends it back to the blue line for Hurley. Hurley back to Smithson. That goes off a skate, comes out in front for Boulian. She gets tied up at the near side corner. Chipped off the glass to the near side, now picked up by Boulian. Boulian sends one out in front. That goes off a stick. Brander reaching, keeping that one in play. Hurley with it again, sends it back to the near side circle for Boulian. Boulian puts the brakes on the near side. Still with it. Chips it back to Brander. Brander back to Boulian. Boulian, near side circle with a shot off a defender. That'll come back to Brander. She'll send it back in behind the net. Rolling to the far side corner, Arguin on the approach. Arguin, get that back to Hurley. Hurley sends that one through to Boulian with a shot. And that one off a defender back to the near side corner. Poked up off the near side boards for Clark. Clark chips that one up ahead. That one gets sent off the back of the ref's head in the near side corner. Finally dumped down the ice by Manitoba. And Fritz will come out and hand that one off to Hurley. Hurley from behind her own net. Looking to get set up. Hurley sends it off to the near side as Waddell's going to give chase. Waddell now up over center. She's going to go in on her own. Waddell in the slot hands that one off to Clark. Clark sends it through to Waddell. Bouncing, still free. Puck rolls out to the near side circle. And here comes Manitoba. They're going to get one up to the center ice area. Goes up off a stick into the Rustler bench. And we'll get a face-off now in the neutral zone with 28 seconds to go in the Rustler power play.
I like these tables, they make lots of noise.
They do. 7:05 to go. Rustlers shot 7, Manitoba 2. Still 0-0 game. Face-off's going to be won by the Rustlers back to Bensmiller. Bensmiller chips it up to the near side for Baby as Baby gets tangled up. Poked up ahead for Rollick. Rollick gives chase now as it rolls into the near side corner, dumped into the far side now. A pinching Waddell. She'll carry that one into the corner, back for Rollick. Rollick centering pass for Byer. She attempts a one-timer. Back to Bensmiller with a shot blocked again. Bensmiller now chasing it down to the near side, her Manitoba blue line. She'll shut it down there as the penalty expires, and we're back to 5-on-5. Waddell sends that one up, goes up off a stick as Byer gets tangled up and dumped at center ice. Now Rollick getting hauled down, holding on to the stick. Boulian far side corner. Arguing picks up. Chipped into the far side corner for Smithson. Manitoba going to poke that one free. Here's a pinching Weber with a shot. That one goes off a goaltender back to the near side corner. Dumped back out. Here comes Manitoba. Breaking out with a 2-on-1 opportunity. Peters back. Backing up over the blue line with a shot. That one goes high and wide on the blocker side. Peters dumps in the far side corner. Poked up ahead now. Up off the stick. Bounces free for Peters at the far side circle. Peters sends that one up for Smithson. Goes in behind her and gets sent right back in. Rolls in behind the net. Now Weber will chase. Weber puts the brakes on as she gets tangled up with 3. Smithson tried to walk that one out. Gets knocked off a stick. Peters will chip that one up and out. Here comes Boulian up over center. Boulian with some speed. Boulian near side circle. Tries to walk one in. Clark from the slot with a shot. That one's blocked by a forward. Brander chips that one back to Schwartz. Goes behind the net for Boulian. Boulian chips that one back. Up off the stick. McNabb pinching in. Manitoba going to chip that one up over center as Brander sends it right back up over center. Comes back to Brander. Brander to McNabb. McNabb over the blue line. Sends that one back up to Boulian. Boulian in over the blue line now. Drop pass for Clark with a shot. She fanned on that one. There's a rebound. Kicked aside. Still free in the blue paint. Puck still free. Manitoba trying to send that one out. Comes back to the far side. They'll carry it out over the blue line. They'll dump it in. That'll roll in behind the Rustler net for McNabb. McNabb sends it along the far side for Schwartz. Schwartz chips it back for McNabb behind the net. McNabb trying to send that one back. Got stolen off her stick, but she'll regain control. McNabb slowly walking it out. She'll send that one up and bounce it to Baby. Baby will chip it in, but it gets knocked out right away as Rollick pokes that one ahead to herself. She'll collect again. Rollick with a nice move at center. Rollick, far side circle, walking one in. Rollick gets bumped off the puck in the far side corner. In to help out is Arguin. Rollick trying to draw it out of the crowd. Arguin in to try and do the same. Poked back to the far side point. Knocked up off the glass, and that'll go down the length of the ice as we're going to get an icing call against the Manitoba Mavericks with 3:53 to go. Face off deep down Manitoba territory. I try not to interview opposing parents.
You're bullshit.
Face off for Arguin now on the blocker side. Arguin will win that one. Goes clean back to Hurley. Hurley sending it over to Smithson. Smithson near side circle with a shot that goes wide on the glove side. Rolls to Bensmiller on the near side point. She'll chip it back in. Arguin now on the far near side corner, hands it off to Smithson. Smithson's going to walk in behind the net with it. Chips it back to Hurley at the far side point. Hurley sends that one back to Boulian on the far side. Boulian tried to get it back to Smithson. Smithson will regain control, chips it back behind the net for Boulian in the near side corner. That goes off her stick as a pinching Bensmiller will send it back to the near side corner. Puck gets poked free as it rolls to the far side corner now on a pinching Hurley. Hurley going to wait for it to come to her and just bait the Manitoba forward. Bouncing puck chipped up ahead again, dumped in by Manitoba. Bensmiller from behind her own net. Sends it over to the far side for Hurley again. Hurley lets that one go for Schwartz. Schwartz cross ice pass just out of the reach of Clark. Clark chips it back to Bensmiller. Bensmiller looking for Hurley. No, a fake shot pass. Chipped up. Now Boulian on the attack. Bensmiller will stop that before it gets too far. Here's Manitoba trying to walk one in the slot with a shot and a huge save by Fritz as it rolls to the far side corner. And here comes Schwartz with some speed out of her own zone. Schwartz has it knocked off her stick. Bouncing puck still free in the neutral zone. Clark chips that one up, goes off a Boolean. That one's sent back to the far side. Now Peters will give chase in the far side corner. Peters with a nice move in the far side corner. She's going to send that one up for Baby. Baby gets a piece of it. It gets in the zone. Now Rollick. Rollick in the far side corner. She's got Byer with a one-timer. Didn't get all of it as it rolls free. Rollick with a nice move in behind the net. Back to Byer. Byer with a shot right on. Soaked up by the Manitoba goaltender. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first. Excuse me. Byer for the draw now on the glove side. She'll win that one clean. Comes back to Waddell. Waddell's going to send that one in. Tipped in front, goes wide on the glove side. Chipped into the far side corner. Now comes back to Peters. Peters will send one in off a defender. That's now in behind the net to the near side corner. Poke back in behind the net again. Centering passes. Here comes Manitoba on the breakout. One-on-one. Peters chasing to get back. Waddell keeping her to the outside. Byer with a nice little push. Chipped up off the far side boards for Waddell. Waddell hits Rollick. Rollick gets it stolen from her. Peters looking for a lane. She'll just poke it up off the far side boards. And here comes Baby. Baby at the far side blue line. Puts the brakes on. Tries to drop past. Nobody home. Rustlers were changing. Now McNabb is back. McNabb to the near side for Weber. Up off the far side boards. Handed back to McNabb. McNabb will chip that one in. That'll go the length of the ice. Assuming we're going to get an icing call, and we will, with 53 seconds to go. We don't care who sees. Face off now, deep in Rustler territory. One clean by Arguin. Battle for it to the near side corner as our Weber got tangled up. Arguin to help out. She'll chip it over to McNabb. McNabb sends that one up to Smithson. Smithson got tied up on the boards, but she'll throw a big hit. Now Boolean. Boolean sends that one up to Arguin. Arguin up over center. She'll backhand one in, right in on net, steered aside. Rustlers are going to get a couple of quick changes. Puck rolls to the near side corner. Clark was looking for it. Back in time was Boolean. She'll chip it back in. Harper Clark with a big hit at the far side boards. And Clark gonna get a 2 for a trip. I could have seen a board there, but 2 is 2. And Manitoba is going to get the first opportunity on the power play with 12 seconds to go in the first. Face off for Byer on the blocker side. One by Manitoba. There's a shot blocked by Byer, as she also throws a hit and takes the puck.
Junior Rustlers penalty to number 77.
That one sent in, stopped in front by Hurley, back to the near side corner, and that'll do it for the first. As we're going to go into 2, all notched up at 1, or sorry, all notched up at 0. Come on back for the second.
Can you get to the YouTube feed without going to your...
But we can't.